from the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. Tonight, it's the Oakland Raiders versus the Houston Oilers.
Fascinating scene, the top of the dome in the Houston Astrodome as we pan down to the gridiron itself, and we're going to have another packed house.
Number 21 is Cliff Branch. Cliff Branch, a 9'3" sprinter who attended high school here in Houston at Worthington High School and was the first Texas schoolboy to run that 9'3" there in that tough Western division of the American Football Conference. And we're about set to get underway. It'll be a short kick that will be taken by Branch, a hometown hero. And Branch over the 20, upset at the 23-yard line. This is Charlie Smith following Hubbard, and he will just get back to the line of scrimmage. Stopped there by number 29, Ken Houston, the all-pro tight safety for the Houston Oilers.
He may be the best strong safety in football. He holds the all-time record for career interceptions returned for touchdowns, 9. He took 4 back for touchdowns last year, a one-season record.
Third down, and call it a long 12, the ball at the 21.5-yard line. Lavonic with the slight roll, the moving pocket. Fires complete to Biletnikoff, over the 40 to the 44-yard line. Mark it at the 44. Look at it again.
You can see it just a wide open in the middle. It was a curl in, Frank. Biletnikoff came in from that slot position on the outside. The moving pocket that you suggested put him almost directly in front of Lamonic.
Again, both wide receivers, Siani and Biletnikoff, go right, and this is Marv Hubbard. Marv Hubbard met and missed at the line of scrimmage by number 85, Floyd Rice, but finally dropped by Leo Brooks, number 73. 49, Smith gets the call, he gets the first down and almost has the ball torn away as he moves inside Houston's 45-yard line. The balance formation now, third and passing. From this formation, LaMonica likes to go to his tight end, Raymond Chester. The moving pocket. Going for Siani, but out of bounds. Defended by number 33, Benny Johnson. All right, and coming on is the grand old man, number 16, George Blanda, who guided these Houston Oilers to an AFL championship back in 1960. Started his football in 1949 with the Chicago Bears. He's done a little linebacker duty and a little bit of everything else. From the 49, and it won't be close. Taken there by number 25, and that would be John Charles. Charles bringing it back out to the 20-yard line. Pastorini on the very first play, and he gives it off this time to Rogers. And he did. 68 yards rushing against that Jets defensive unit. Bill Peterson, the coach, calls all the offensive plays for the Oilers. Now, out goes Al Johnson, and in comes Willie Rogers. Joyner and Burroughs both move out to the left. Third down at about 6. The ball at the 25-yard line, just short of the 25. Pastorini looking to throw. In and out of the hands of Joyner. And back there defending, as he has for so many years, number 48, Nehemiah Wilson.
The ball was there. Joyner just missed it. You'll see a turn in. Pastorini's, one of his main strong points is the ability to rifle that ball. And he had that one right in the hands. Coach Peterson last night said that one of his problems a year ago that caused a lot of his interceptions and on turn-ins like this, he was a little hesitant. He's not hesitant this year.
Okay, Dan Pastorini getting set to punt to Atkinson, 43, Branch, 21. High kick, takes a good bounce. Pastorini with a 47-yard average coming into tonight's game, gets off a beauty. Here's first and 10. They'll move from their own 22-yard line. This is Darryl LaMonica. The handoff goes to Marv Hubbard. Hubbard over the 25 to the 27, stopped by Elvin Bethea. Marv Hubbard, quite a story with this young man. Came up to the Raiders, couldn't make it a couple years ago, went back and led the Atlantic Coast Conference at Hartford in rushing, came back and made it big last year. Second down and 3. Ball at the 28-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. Hubbard again. Hubbard driving over the 35 to the 36. This is Charlie Smith behind the blocking of Marv Hubbard. He moves over the 40 to the 42. Okay, second down and 3. The ball at the 42-yard line of the Raiders. Here comes Charlie Smith breaking to the outside. And Pritchard again makes the stop, but it'll be close to the first down. Ken Houston, 29 also coming up. First and 10 for the Raiders at the 42-yard line. Monica firing for And now Cliff Branch, number 21, the rookie from Colorado, is in replacing Mike Ciani. This is Charlie Smith breaking tackles, moving inside the 30. Branch out left. This is Charlie Smith. Oh, and a fine tackle, and who could it be but number 29, Kenny Houston, coming up, reading the tight end, blocking down, and up he came to make the tackle, actually behind the line of scrimmage. Third down, a long two. The ball at the 28 of the Houston Oilers. The Raiders moving. Monaco on 3rd and 2, dropping the pass. Bethea gets it first. And coming in to nail him is Mike Tilleman, but Elvin Bethea really put the pressure on LaMonica. Breaking the block of Art Shell was Elvin Bethea.
Elvin Bethea, number 65. We are peppering you with information tonight about these Houston players because Houston's players, quite frankly, don't get the big publicity that often. They haven't had that many national appearances. But Elvin Bethea is a player of absolute excellence, and everybody in the National Football League knows it. One of the best in the league at his position.
Speaking of excellence, George Blanda tries from the 41-yard line. He'll be close. It's good. Dan Pastorini brings up the Houston Oilers. First and 10. They'll move from the 20. Here comes a draw play. Hoyle, Granger with a big hole. To the outside, first down. Granger.
Interesting to see Granger back here in the Astrodome, where he's always been a favorite.
Out to the right, 00 is Ken Burrow. First and 10. The ball at the 33-yard line of the Houston Oilers. This time we go nowhere. Hoyle, Granger stopped there by number 80, Art Toms. Now anticipate the passing of Dan Pastorini. Second down and 15. The ball at the 27. Pastorini fires it. Willie Rogers dropped it, and, well, Tatum couldn't hold on to it.
And I point this out. We talked about it a little bit last week, watching young John Reeves of Philadelphia throw. Both of these guys, Reeves, Pastorini, a lot of young quarterbacks, have got good, strong arms. He really rifled that ball. I'm not saying it was not catchable, but the ball was thrown hard. You saw it bounce off the shoulder pad. And actually should have been intercepted. One of the things that the young quarterbacks really have to learn is a matter of touch or feel of how hard to throw that ball in different areas.
Well, that's so hard that Tatum couldn't handle the rebound. Third and 15 now from the 28. The ball will go in the air again. Burrows out left, Joyner to the right. And off the mark on your left, George Atkinson, 43-21, the rookie Cliff Branch. Great speed and almost blocked. Pastorini had to hurry. Fair catch. Atkinson bobbles the ball. I believe it was picked off in the air by Willie Rogers.
He's got it.
And it goes Willie.
It's marked. Marked back at the 42-yard line.
What they're saying is he cannot advance it in the air.
Oakland's always involved in some kind of decision or other, and Al Davis is always one of the biggest complainers about officials. He's the guy who got the break on the Jack Tatum 104-yard run that Mark Duncan of the league office later admitted the officials had blown, and that was the play that gave Oakland its victory over Green Bay.
We got to get an official ruling on this one because I don't understand that either.
I don't.
First and 10, the Oilers. Pastorini screen, fakes one way, comes back the other way. Granger to the 25.
All right, we'll take a look at this. Is the punt from a while ago. You see a fair catch. It hits. And he catches it in the air. Now, I don't know the rule on that. I'll just be really honest.
I'll be very honest, I don't either.
It looked like to me he ought to be able to run with it. It's a fumble that you catch in the air, but evidently it has something to do with the fair catch.
All right, we will get you the official ruling. The ball now, first and 10 for the Oilers. They're at the 25-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. They trail 3-0. Time running out of the first quarter. Comes Willie Rogers. Met there by Nehemiah Wilson. Second down, along 7, the ball at the 23-yard line. Pastorini back, looking to his tight end, Alvin Reed. Both backs circling out. In and out of the hands of George Atkinson, and believe me, danger. Granger was really lassoed as he came around the end.
Alvin Reed is really putting on a storm here. Watch number 89. He complained to the officials to no avail.
Look at
that.
That's what you call infraction. That's
I don't blame him for complaining.
You know the ruling on that, don't you, Don?
Yeah, I do.
Kent Nix, the backup quarterback, to do the holding. A fake. Kent Nix is a quarterback. And that pass is incomplete. Terry DePoister to punt for Oakland. The single safety for Houston is Ken Houston. Oh, and the rush, and it's blocked, but a flag is down. Houston blocks the punt, but a flag is down. Holding against Oakland. Houston's ball.
All right, we'll take a look at it. Several guys got in on that one. That's 32, it looks to me.
Ward Walsh.
32, Ward Walsh. They had the all-out rush on.
The Oilers in great field position at the 2-yard line. First and goal. Pastorini gives the ball, or rather fakes the ball to Rogers. He wants to run himself. He goes nowhere. Phil Filippiano.
He had Burroughs in the corner with nobody within 5-7 yards from him. Look back in the back of that end zone.
0-0, all alone, screaming for it.
Okay, I know how the receiver feels. Pastorini brings him up. Second down now. Sets the same formation opposite. This time again with the fake draw. And in trouble, and he's dumped. Coming in there hard was number 34, the old pro, Gus Otto. Ken Burrow goes out to the right. Pastorini will have to put the ball in the air. Burrow has the wide side of the field. Charlie Joyner is on the left side. Going for Joyner. It'll be out of play. Skip Butler will be kicking from the 29. And this is blocked.
That's the block I talked about, the wrap against him.
Number 48 comes up with the football, Nehemiah Wilson.
We've seen how inept the Oilers' play was, and it would continue throughout the entire season. In the special features section of my playlist are videos entitled The Worst NFL Team of All Time, Non-Expansion, Parts 1 and 2 that show how bad the Oilers team, as well as the 1973 squad was. This 1972 team was head coach Bill Peterson's first professional job, as was quarterback and receivers coach Dan Henning, who would become the Atlanta Falcons head coach in 1983. This club was woefully inexperienced all over the playing field, too. While right guard Ron Saul would become a very good player, he only started one game in the 2 years prior to 1972. Center Calvin Hunt didn't even play in the NFL in 1971, and 1972 was the first year that he started any games. Right tackle Levert Carr was starting his first season at that position. In 1969, he played at the defensive end position, so he was definitely a work in progress. Left guard Tom Regner had experience, but none recently, as he'd only started 4 games in the 2 years prior to 1972. Left tackle Tom Funchess had experience too, but it was with the Patriots, as he only started 2 games with the Oilers prior to 1972.
Third down and 2. The Raiders moving now from the Houston Oilers' 48-yard line. Both backs coming out of the backfield. Monica rushed. Gets it off to Branch. He drops the football. This is Kenny Houston. Kenny Houston, the all-pro safety, picked up that ball, dropped by Cliff Branch. They move on the Oakland Raiders' 37-yard line. Pastorini splits Charlie Joyner out to the left into the slot. Oil Granger inside the 30. Met there by number 43, George Atkinson. First and 10, the Oilers moving on the Oakland Raiders' 27-yard line. Ken Burrow left, Charlie Joyner to the right. Here comes Willie Rogers, heading back, getting over the line of scrimmage, inside the 25 to the 23. Otis Sistrunk, number 60.
Otis Sistrunk is a strong young man, perhaps not quite so strong as Manny, his cousin with the Washington Redskins. He was a free agent, And I said earlier, when time permits, we'll develop the story of how Al Davis got him from Tommy Prothro. It's really funny.
I can hardly wait.
Second down and 8. Ball at the 24-yard line. Jim Byrne has checked in a one-wide receiver, bringing the play in. Intercepted, Art Toms.
Pastorini was the third overall selection in the 1971 draft, but the Oilers didn't provide him much of an offensive line. He was sacked 4 times in this game and a career-high 37 times on the year. He threw 4 interceptions in this game and 12 during the season with only 7 touchdown passes. He finished in 20th out of 24 qualifiers in the NFL passer rating category. He only completed 3 of 21 passes for 31 yards and a 0 passer rating, and that's why he is considered to have had the worst quarterback outing on Monday Night Football. His best contribution on the night was as a punter, as he averaged 44.4 yards per punt.
There by Atkinson. Atkinson tripped up.
It's an imponderable mistake. There's Burrow going down the sideline, completely open, but no matter. The ball thrown into a crowd of white shirts. At just an inexplicable time, 9 seconds left to go in the first half. Hardly reflective of professional football at its best level.
And Earl Lamonica obviously is going to throw the ball because he doesn't have time to run the ball and perhaps get the field goal. Going for Blendikoff, who's open.
He got
Touchdown. Fred Biletnikoff.
Biletnikoff just takes off. He gets right behind Alexander. It's a perfectly thrown ball by Lamonica, incidentally.
Boy, that's where bump and run hurts if you don't know how to handle it.
Look at that Biletnikoff. And he's been in the end zone before. Saw him gather himself, get those feet together.
The balloons go up in the air. The atmosphere is festive at Atlanta Stadium. This is first half action. Only minutes remaining. The handoff to Alty Taylor of the Lions, number 42. The Lions leading 6-3 at this point. And Alty running wide right, as you saw, and then cutting back in brilliantly. Picks up 32 yards. This is the very next play. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first half. The score, as I said, 6-3. And Steve Owens, number 36, former Heisman Trophy winner from Oklahoma, moves out wide and goes in for the tally. Detroit leads 13-3. Now we're early in the third quarter, and they're struggling. Atlanta is to fight back. Bob Berry has just handed off to Art Malone, who's become an outstanding running back in the National Football Conference. He moves in for the touchdown. It's 13-10. Now, after that kickoff, this is the first play after the Atlanta kickoff, and Greg Landry drops back and throws, as you see, to Ron Jesse, number 89. Jesse moves all the way downfield. It's an 82-yard play, touchdown. Detroit 20, Atlanta 10. Now we're in the second play of the fourth quarter. That's Bob Berry, the Atlanta quarterback, throwing to and hitting Art Malone. Touchdown. At this moment, it's the Lions 20, the Falcons 17. The Falcons come back with a field goal. It's 20-20. And now is Bill Bell again for Atlanta, kicking a field goal that's good. This time it's 23-20 Atlanta with only 2:52 left in the game. Quickly, Greg Landry strikes back. Downfield to his back, Alty Taylor, number 42 again. Taylor and Steve Owens have combined to give Detroit one of the best 1-2 running punches in the National Football League. We now have just 47 seconds left in the game. Landry attempts to hit Ron Jesse, again, number 89. Pass is incomplete, but the flag goes down. An interference penalty called, and so Detroit has the ball on the Atlanta 3-yard line. Now we have just 39 seconds left. Again, the handoff to number 36, Steve Owens. This time he goes around the right side, sheds the tacklers, as you see. He's in for the touchdown, no matter that the extra point was blocked. The Lions beat the Falcons 26-23. Lambeau Stadium. The Chicago Bears going against the reborn Green Bay Packers because they've been playing great football. And there you see a fumble after a Bobby Douglas handoff. The ball is picked up by Clarence Williams. He dashes 21 yards into the end zone. Quickly, the Pack leads 7-0. This action, of course, in the first quarter. Now we're in the second quarter, and it's 7-3 Packers. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the half. Number 16, Scott Hunter, the heir successor to Bart Starr, the youngster from Alabama, throwing deep downfield, intended for Dave Davis. But watch this. The ball deflected by Joe Taylor of the Bears, and then Johnny Staggers, the former Missourian, who played his college ball for Dan Devine, now his pro coach, gets the ball while in the air, carries it in for the score, and the Pack leads the Bears 14-3. Now we're early in the fourth quarter. The Pack is leading 17-10. Bobby Douglas, the southpaw quarterback, whom some say should be a running back, not a quarterback, throws a 46-yard pass in effect to George Farmer as he storms downfield after the reception. Chicago Bears can fool you even though they're still winless. This is 4 plays later. It's 4th and 2 from the 2. And watch Bobby Douglas scrambling in. And suddenly, the Chicago Bears have tied the Pack at 17-17. This Packer team, as I said, is a different team this year. We've now got 34 seconds left in the game, and this is their new place kicker, Markle, the youngster from Hillsdale. And it's good. And the Pack beats the Bears 20-17. And next week, the Pack at 3-1 against the Detroit Lions at 3-1 on Monday Night Football. Well, somebody caused the Minnesota Vikings to be snake bit. We've got 1:43 seconds left in the game. The Vikings ahead of the Cardinals 17-12, and that's Gary Quazzo, the former Viking quarterback, hitting the rookie from Oregon, Bobby Moore. Touchdown, and suddenly the St. Louis Cardinals lead 19-17. Now we've got 4 seconds, as you can see, left in the game. And Minnesota is setting up for a field. Fred Cox, it's a chippy shot, 26 yards out. But look, he misses. The ball hits the upright, and so it's 19-17 St. Louis. Let's look at it again in slow motion. The snap. The approach by Freddie Cox. The boot. Now watch closely. Defensive back Roger Whaley apparently climbing up his teammate Rowe's back. Apparently touches the football. And indeed, the trajectory of the ball seems to have changed in flight. The ball hits the goalposts. And astonishingly, the powerhouse Purple People Eaters have lost 3 of their first 4 games of the season. Shea Stadium, New York City. Key game, American Football Conference. Still unbeaten Miami against the presumably challenging Jets. This is action in the second quarter. The Jets leading 7-0. Bob Greasy dropping back, hitting Howard Twilley, number 81, who's all alone. Quickly, the score is tied at 7-7. We move to action later in the second quarter. Once again, Greasy has marched his team downfield. Now the handoff to number 21, Jimmy Kick. He's in, 6 yards in the touchdown. Miami 14, the Jets 7. Let's go to the third quarter. Miami's now leading 17-7. Joe Willie Namath trying to rally his forces. Back in the pocket, throwing deep downfield to the number 1 draft choice from Jackson State, Jerry Barker. Wearing number 83, the number that George Sauer Jr. used to wear. No, Miami did not get it. The pass completed. A 52-yard gain. That led to a Bobby Howfield field goal, 17-7. 17-10, rather. Now we move to the very end of the game, early in the fourth quarter. Emerson Boozer scores to make it 24-17. Later, Miami a field goal. That's it. This is Norm Snead, apparently reborn after years of failure, years of hope but no success at Yankee Stadium against the helpless New Orleans Saints. We're midway in the first quarter, and that's Snead dropping back. What a passing percentage he's got this year. Touchdown pass to the back from Southern California, Charlie Evans. 7-0 Giants. Well, late in the first quarter, it's 10-0 Giants. The handoff to Charlie Evans, number 31, who scored 3 times this day. He's in for the touchdown, and they're piling it up. 17-0 Giants over New Orleans. Now we're late in the second quarter. It's 24-0 at this point. I told you about Charlie Evans. Here he is again. 8 yards in. Touchdown. The Giants leading 31-0. They haven't had a day like this in years. We're just 3 plays later. 15 seconds left in the half. Archie Manning, out of Ole Miss, number 8, scrambling the way he used to in college. Looking deep downfield. Throwing. To number 83, Dave Parks, once the leading pass receiver in the National Football League. That was back in '66, and New Orleans is on the scoreboard. It's 31-7 Giants at halftime. Now we're in the third quarter. Norm Snead again. A 14-yard touchdown pass. You will see it to Don Herman, the youngster from Waynesburg. And so the Giants are ahead 38-7. Scan excitement here. We are late in the third quarter, or at least moving to it. And they're finally playing Bob Grimm, acquired from the Vikings in the Tarkenton trade. Snead to Bob Grimm. Hits him. Touchdown. 45-7. Well, not a good day for the New Orleans Saints, to put it in the form of understatement. Here you see Manning dropping back. Manning finally hitting Danny Abramowitz, and so New Orleans scores. That made it 45-14. It wound up 45-21, no contest.
1 of 12 tonight, 17 yards. That was a screen pass that happened about an hour and a half ago in the first quarter. Having a rough night. Third down and 27. Firing for Byrne, he has it.
Jim Byrne was the Oilers' leading receiver for this game with 19 yards. This catch also tied him for the team lead with 1.
Kemp next will set the ball up at about the 42-yard line for Skip Butler. And this is blocked. They have blocked, I believe, 3 field goals tonight between the two teams.
There it is. Now look at this, Don.
I want you to describe each one of these guys that covers the ball, Howard. Name them now. Here they go. Zoop. There goes the ball.
I think a few of them came off the bench.
Yeah, we'd be better off describing the ball.
That's Villapiano there is trying to get it.
41 is Villapiano, number 80.
Horace Jones has
Odd
3 shots
Tom.
at it.
You got to
80's
love
Odd
it.
Tom's. 82, of course, is Jones from Louisville. 12th round draft choice a year ago. Back to the action here.
On first and 10, Darryl Lamonica wants to throw, and he gets stumped. Theo Brooks, number 73, was in there, along with Elvin Bethea, number 65.
Giff, I think when this one is over, we should go into the league offices on Wednesday, get the films of the game, and take them around to local high schools as a study in futility.
Wow, that's heavy, Howard.
So 45-year-old George Blanda trots onto the field. We're making a field goal attempt. Odds are it'll be blocked. At least statistically tonight, you could say that. They blocked more than they've got off.
Frank Gifford said that, America.
From the 35. And when George Blanda trots away, you know he's made it. Ball at the 21-yard line of the Oilers, and here comes Al Johnson. He's a former quarterback. Well, he can still throw it. That was a lateral. Boy, look at that arm. And wide open is Burrow. And he drops it. And had not Pastorini bobbled that ball, he would have been able to throw it in time to get that ball to Burrow, who was wide open.
That's some razzle-dazzle. I like that.
That's Al Johnson, whom Don was speaking of a moment ago. He was a quarterback at Cincinnati. Third down and 9. And Pastorini draws the crowd, and down he goes, back inside the 20. Big number 60, Otto Sistrunk is there. Young man who never went to any major college. As a matter of fact, didn't play college football at all.
What Peterson's concerned with, though, is establishing something here, and he's chosen to go with Pastorini. And he's getting his knocks tonight.
Right now on 3rd and 4, Lamonica completes to Biletnikoff.
Wow.
Zeke Moore makes the stop, but it's first down Oakland. Good block by Clarence Davis. He's taking George Webster, and he's giving away a lot of pounds. Second down and 7. The ball at the 27. This is Lamonica. Ciani, touchdown.
Mike Ciani was the Raiders' first-round draft choice in 1972 out of Villanova. In 3 seasons there, he caught 33 touchdown passes, which was just 1 less than the NCAA record at that time.
This ball well thrown by Darryl Lamonica.
Anything fancy, Frank. You just see him come down, make a slight move, coming across the middle, he gets a step.
Next weekend, Texas against Oklahoma in college football on Saturday. Green Bay against Detroit next Monday night.
Second down and 4. Pastorini, and it's deflected, and it's picked off by Otis Sistrunk. From the 14-yard line, here comes Clarence Davis. And look at him break tackles. He'll score.
Well, they put him back in. We said he was only dazed. I don't know what the exigencies were that dictated the need for another touchdown, but John Madden, the coach, decided to use Davis again, and that was the result.
Coming off a broken bone in the shoulder, playing his first game in 7 weeks. And he adds a lot of spark to the Oakland attack. Good kick return man, was second in the American Football Conference last year, returning kickoffs.
Southern California has had a lot of great runners in its history.
That they have.
I think beginning with a fellow who wore number 16 and is immediately to my left.
And you're looking at another 16, knuckling it through for the conversion. George Blanda.
Number 14 is warming up on the sideline. Kent Nix is going to pull this one out of the fire.
Do you think he's excited about coming in?
Don't you know he's thrilled?
Kent Nix. I wonder what you tell a quarterback, Don, in a situation like this.
Well, we got to establish
Be
the
careful,
run.
one thing.
Is establish the run, son. Mix them up. Call your own plays and have fun.
And he has gradually changed the nature of this team. He has a lot of youth. This is Kent Nix firing, is picked off by number 48, Nehemiah Wilson. And you may as well have some fun, Nehemiah.
All right, let's go.
Stabler at quarterback. First and goal from the 2. Left-handed, wide open, number 88, Bob Moore, who generally plays his football when Raymond Chester is hurt or on third and short yardage. Stabler's had quite a night.
1 for 1. Listen, Giff, you weren't with us our first year. We saw a team play this badly that wound up in the Super Bowl. The Dallas Cowboys, when St. Louis really destroyed them.
I remember that.
St. Louis will never forget it.
Yeah.
Raiders 33, Blanda on to make it 34. First and 10 Houston, they move now from their own 37. Watch out, Kent. Horace Jones nails Kent Nix. Second down now in 17. Ball at the 31. And Nix underthrows to Robert Holmes.
Right there is a vivid picturization of the excitement attendant upon this game.
I guess we'll have some more shots of the crowd for you in a little while, folks. And they're number 1 in the nation.